Open from 7 to 9 every day.
Together we're making a difference.
Upper bracket 4A semifinal, tied at the half at 32. Let's go downstairs to Tim Seaman.
Thanks very much, Larry Morgan. And later tonight, of course, 2 championships will be decided here, one in Class 2A, one in Class 1A. And the head men for those 2 1A programs are with me. Ken Dober on this side from Hudson and Paul Walton from Boyden Hull on this side. And Paul, we'll start off with you. This is where you thought, I think, 3 years ago, maybe this group of kids would be is down here and in a championship game.
Well, yeah, Tim, we knew this group of kids was going to be an awful exceptional group, and they've worked really hard for 5-6 years to get to this point, and they deserve the opportunity to play tonight.
You've had a couple of fourths, you've had a second, but you've never had that title trophy come back to Boyden Hull.
That's true. We've been down here 4 times now since we've been at Boyden Hull, and we got fourth twice, and Colonesco beat us in 1990, and we have another opportunity tonight to put the big trophy in our case.
Your club has gone through the season unbeaten. You've been in the polls right there at the top, near the top throughout the complete prep season. Have your kids handled that pretty well? Apparently so, to be in the championship game.
Yeah, truthfully, I don't think we even think about being undefeated. I don't think we think about being rated second, which we were all year. And that doesn't really ever enter into much of our conversations at all. We just go out and play hard and have fun.
You've got to watch Hudson play twice. What do you like most about their club in closing?
Well, 2 things. One, they're really quick. They do a lot of things by penetration. They shoot the ball well, and then, of course, they believe. You know, they knocked off Winfield the other night, and they just don't quit. So, you know, we're going to have to come out and play.
Let's go ahead and talk to Ken Dober for just a second. Ken, he says your kids believe. Is that true? You got a bunch of young kids that think, hey, we're as good as anybody to go get it done, even though we are youthful?
Maybe that's the intelligence of youth. I don't know. No, I don't think our kids are afraid of anyone. You know, we've played some pretty tough competition in our league. I think that has a lot to do with it's improved us so much. The Appleton Parkersburgs, NU is a real strong basketball team. Our whole conference, in fact, the team that took last in our conference went to the sub-state and got beat by Iowa Falls in the sub-state. So, you know, we feel that if our kids are on, we can play with anyone.
You've got to feel also with the upset and the youth that you've got. You honestly, I got to believe, didn't think maybe you thought you would be, but to be here is amazing for as young as your kids are with just a couple of older classmen.
Yes, I agree with you. I think you have to have some breaks to be down here. There's no doubt. Well, luckily, we had a good draw. We had the district games were at Hudson, 2 of our games, so that really made a difference to get us started on the right, winning key, and those things are good. And, and the only team we had that was real strong was NU, of course, and that was a tough game for us because we had beaten them twice and had to play them again in the sub-state.
In closing here, what do you like most about the Boyden Hull Club?
Boy, I tell you, their size and they're so well balanced. They play good position, man-to-man defense, put pressure on you. They just do so many things well.
Well, hopefully it'll be a great evening for both of these fellas as the 1A championship looms ahead a bit later tonight. We'll have that for you this evening. A second half to come here, and Larry and Gary are upstairs with more on this 4A semifinal.
Tim looks well rested. He just came back from the NAIA tournament in Kansas City covering Briarcliff, and he's been on the road a lot lately, but you can tell he's ready to roll. Let's take a look at first half highlights of this game that's tied up at 32. We'll start off with Ankeny on offense, and you mentioned Benj Sampson makes some things happen.
Right, good entry pass here. Then the defense by the Rail Splitters knocked the ball away. Looked like it was going to save it, but it fell right into the hands of Todd Sayers, who took it up for 2 of his 12. Great entry pass right there to Hill, who's been strong on the inside.
And back to Ankeny, and they ran the fast break pretty well. Again, Sampson leads the way.
Olson gets out ahead of everybody. We said Sampson's a baseball pitcher, so he got that strong arm, delivers a strike.
No doubt the most spectacular defensive play of the first half.
Boy, and Hill, he's been awesome on those offensive boards, and again, they're part of his defense, block shots. Always want to follow up. You never want to give in and think a shot's going to be made. That was a good job by Crandall of following up the missed shot.
And Olson sets up the game's only 3-pointer so far. And so that's where we stand at the half. 32-32. We'll be back with the start of the second half in just a moment.
Norwest Bank salutes Iowa. The state's 6,284 Norwest employees are proud to call home.
Nearly 60 years ago, rural electric cooperatives brought electricity to small towns and farmyards for the first time. Today, your electric cooperative does more than supply safe and reliable electric service. We also bring the most technologically advanced services to homes and farms, as well as to business and industry. We make communities stronger through economic development, and we help you use energy more efficiently. We're your member-owned electric cooperative, and we're working for you.
The 1993 Iowa Boys State Basketball Tournament is brought to you by Norwest Banks, proud sponsor of the 1993 Sportsmanship Award, and by Roan Pooling, makers of Buck Trill. Nothing measures up to Buck Trill.
With Gary Thompson and Tim Seaman, Larry Morgan at Veterans Auditorium in Des Moines. 32-32, Ankeny and Lincoln. Dead even thus far, Gary. You got to think fouls really could become a factor. Andrew Hill with 3 fouls for Lincoln. 2 other starters, Crandall and Aldrich, 2 apiece. On the other hand, for Ankeny, only Sampson and Luch have any concerns right now with 2 fouls apiece.
Yeah, that last one on Hill was expensive. Picking up his 3rd. Now you can see, because if Pippett needs some rest, I think he played the whole first half. If he has to rest a little bit here in the second half, you can't afford to have Hill sitting down at the same time with foul trouble.
And again, he's coming off a bout of mononucleosis that sidelined him for 3 games in February, and during that stretch, the Rail Splitters, who at 12-1 at one point in the season, lost 4 out of 5. So that tells you what he means to their ball club. Let's take a look at our halftime stats.
Well, the field goals, Des Moines Lincoln actually got 3 more attempts than Ankeny. Both of them shooting good. 3-point shooting not a factor. Olson with the only one. Rebounding, surprised both of them. They're battling real well there against the boards, even up.
As far as the individual scoring leaders, they're what you'd expect. Pippett and Sears leading their respective clubs. But Andrew Hill, the talented sophomore, has also got 10 points, and at least 3 of those buckets were second chance points.
Right, I think for Ankeny, Sampson and Luch are going to have to come through and give them some offense. They only had 3 points between them in the first half.
I also think the reason that Lincoln has done as well as they have were those second shots, those offensive rebounds. They're rebounding even with the team, as you mentioned, that out-rebounds its opponents by an average of 11.
And Hill, a big part of that, because he was strong on the inside. We talked about his quickness. He was able to get offensive rebounds and stick them back in.
For Lincoln, it's 33 Ulrich, 41 Hill, 45 Pippett, 5 Ferguson, and 21 Crandall. And for Ankeny, it's 33 Luch, 41 Haverdick, 51 Sears, 15 Olson, and 21 Sampson. As both teams go back to their starters to begin the 3rd period.
And it looks like Ankeny went to a 1-2-2 zone to start out with. And as I said, Larry Island, a disciple of Bob Knight, they had 3 big man for men.
Sampson with a breakaway bucket for the Hawks, and Ankeny takes a 34-32 lead to begin the 3rd period.
And that's one thing you have to protect when you play Ankeny. They like to get it out fast and get down court.
Underneath is Ulrich clearing and putting it back. Another second chance bucket for the Rail Splitters.
Boy, 6'2" and 190. He's a strong kid. We said he's an emotional type player, and he really plays hard. Good save.
It was a terrific save by Luch. It looked like it was headed out of bounds.
I think that caught the Rail Splitters by surprise. They were just standing there. Somebody, anytime a ball like that's going out, you want to start for that ball.
As I recall, it would have been out of bounds off Ankeny and not been saved by Luch. There's a terrific turnaround by Luch, so he's become a factor very early in this 3rd quarter. That's his first bucket, but it's a big one.
Good clear-out situation to get Luch, who's an all-conference football player, so he's strong. He can operate on that post. They started out the game looking like they wanted to get him involved down low, and then he kind of went by the wayside offensively. They get him started early here in the 3rd quarter. They're 1-3-1 zone now.
And over the zone, it is Quentin Ferguson, and the rebound taken by Crandall. And he gets a good pass to Ryan Pippett. And again, offensive rebounding has been a big key for the Rail Splitters. You can't talk about that too much, because that, to my way of thinking, is the reason that they are tied with Ankeny.
There's no doubt about that. Those second chance points are killing the Hawks, and this is a club that has an 11 rebound margin on the year.
Ulrich, the takeaway, doesn't have anybody in front of him, so he has to take it himself and scores it.
Beautiful move right there. You can see him measuring the defensive man, getting ready for him to cut in front, and then he makes a move to the inside, clears himself, and gets the roll.
Sears is open, and that usually means 2 for the Hawks. He's got to know where he is all the time.
And an excellent shooter, 6 out of 9 in the first ball game. He's 59% on the year. Terrific.
Wow. Underneath it is Crandall, and the first foul of the second half is called on Todd Sears.
51.
His second foul. 5:28 to go in the third. John LaBoigna, John Carl watch the action from the Lincoln bench. Interesting story about Carl. We mentioned that he had been the head coach. He likes to officiate basketball games himself, so if he's not there on Fridays, he doesn't see too many of the Rail Splitter games in person, but John LaBoigna says, John Carl, I don't care when you can be there, I want you there.
Larry, who wants to punish himself by being official, huh?
I don't know. He must really love this sport. We got a timeout with 5:28 to go in the third. It's Lincoln 39 and Ankeny 38. We'll be back at Veterans Auditorium in just a moment.
The glorious state of Iowa is in for something big. New DuPont Concert Herbicide. Applied post after a pre-grass, it's the best at getting your toughest weeds like lamb's quarters and pigweed. And its water-soluble bags are a to use. It's a performance your soybeans won't want to miss. Concert making Iowa better for beans.
Nearly 60 years ago, rural electric cooperatives brought electricity to small towns and farmyards for the first time. Today, your electric cooperative does more than supply safe and reliable electric service. We also bring the most technologically advanced services to homes and farms as well as to business and industry. We make communities stronger through economic development, and we help you use energy more efficiently. We're your member-owned electric cooperative, and we're working for you.
Well, there's an interesting spectator. Look at him right there on the left. That's Brad Pippett, Brian Pippett's brother. Of course, he played at Iowa State. Was a graduate of Lincoln, went up to Nyack and played their junior college ball. A real hustler, a kid that really gave his all for Iowa State.
I think there was a case of Johnny Orr maybe getting a little more than he expected. Crandall tries to give Lincoln a 2-point lead. He's got 8 points. The Rail Splitters are 2 of 2 in the half at the free throw line, and now 4 out of 7 for the game. Olsen, nice job getting the ball to Sears.
Boy, and Hill doing a nice job of staying away from the fouls. We said he's got 3. Sears took it and kind of moved right into him, but he backed off and let him have it. That's a smart move this early in the second half.
Here's Pippett. He's got 14.
I think you can afford to let him get the ball that deep. You got to try to corner and get on the side or body check him when he comes into that low post. Try and keep him out of that area.
Olsen gets the roll. That's his 9th point. I'll tell you what, this has just been a really well-played ball game, hasn't it?
No doubt about it. Olsen responding to the challenge. He's an 8-point-a-game scorer already, I think, with 9.
5 ties in this third quarter alone as Crandall goes to the middle.
Boy, it's just back and forth. Crandall, a nice job of gathering himself as he went up kind of off balance and got the shot down.
The trailer is Luch, and the rebound by Hill.
Boy, Luch does an excellent job right there. He sees the double team, he goes to the basket, gets the return pass, just is not able to convert. Tough luck play.
Either team has led in this game by more than 3, and that's really one of just a handful of turnovers. I just think the quality of this ball game has been terrific.
Ferguson looked at the bench. John LaBoigna, instead of being disgusted, says, that's all right, that's all right, that's the way we want. Just soften it up a little bit, the next time you'll get him.
You mentioned John LaBoigna, one of only 2 men to bring 3 different teams to the state tournament. The other coaches at Southeast Polk right now, Tom Goodman, and that's a team he's not brought here yet, but it's a young team, played a lot of close ball games this year. He's got a chance to be a 4-timer. Sears called for the walk.
Got a little over anxious that time. He saw he had his man commit and off balance defensively in a hurry to go for the drive. He took the steps.
Both teams well matched. Again, the first time they met, a 20-point victory for Ankeny, but Ryan Pippin didn't play because of mononucleosis. The foul against Crandall, it's his third. So now two Rail Splitter starters. Hill and Crandall have 3 fouls apiece.
You saw Josh Crandall there. Watch him take it into the middle, but the defensive man comes up, takes the shot away. He has no place to go, can't find an open man, drops it off, and then anxious to go get it, commits the foul.
And officials timeout with 3:27 to go in the third. Lincoln leads Ankeny 44-42. We'll be back at Veterans Auditorium after this word from your local station.
Dear Roseanne, my husband never listens to me. What can I do? Would you like to take this from Dan?
What was that, honey?
Very funny, Dan.
Dear Becky and Darlene, I'm a 15-year-old girl. Is there anything I can do to get my curfew extended to midnight? Ask for a 2 a.m. curfew and negotiate down.
Dear DJ, I don't get any allowance. What should I do? Go on strike. Refuse to be cute in front of company.
Join me, Roseanne, weeknights at 6:30 here on KCAU-TV.
The world is alive with change. Peter Jennings, the anchorman more Americans watch. In Siouxland, experience tells the story. Greg Lund has the experience. News Matters, ABC World News Tonight with Peter Jennings, followed by Greg Lund on the Major 9 News at 6. News matters, and it matters where you get your news.
Gary, perhaps we should mention some reclassification this year. It used to be the 3A was the largest schools, and now it's relabeled 4A. It's a bit of a smaller classification from 64 schools to 48.
Well, I think they have to just play one sub-state game. The 4A's play a district and a sub-state, so kind of an easy way to get into the state tournament. Only have to win 2 games.
Sears takes it right to the hole. Hill has to come up and challenge him, and in so doing, Andrew Hill has picked up his 4th foul.
Watch Sears here. Here comes Hill. Goes up after it, gets a piece of the ball, but a piece of the arm too. Again, I think Hill has to come off. His importance to this ball club and the lack of depth. He may not want to give up that 2 points, but I think he should have.
And Lincoln will use a timeout right away to talk about it. And we've got a timeout with 3 minutes and 13 seconds left in the third quarter. It's Lincoln 44, Ankeny 42. We'll be back after this word from your local station.
Bigger, it's better, it's back. The Norwest Home Equity Celebration.
Hey, I've hosted a lot of celebrations, but this one's the big one. Listen, I'm talking about interest rates under 8%. No closing fees, none at all. Possible tax savings, too. Now there's a reason to celebrate. You could even win a trip for 4 to Euro Disney. Geez, I can hardly contain myself. Come on, join the Norwest Home Equity Celebration.
Only at Iowa Norwest Banks.
The glorious state of Iowa is in for something big. New DuPont Concert Herbicide. Applied post after a pre-grass, it's the best at getting your toughest weeds like lamb's quarters and pigweed. And its water-soluble bags are a to-use. It's a performance your soybeans won't want to miss. Concert making Iowa better for beans.
Back at Veterans Auditorium, there's the story. Gary, we had just had the timeout. Hill picked up his 4th foul, and immediately John Livonia wanted another timeout. What do you think his thinking was there?
Well, I think there's one thing that you got to talk about there. He may have switched defenses. Let's see if they come out. And if they go to a defense of a zone or something like that to protect in there with him sitting out and not being able to go on the boards.
And Sexton is coming to take his place as Sears misfires on the free throw. There's Hill on the bench, having drawn his 4th foul. We still got 3:13 to go in the third quarter. He's been such a rebounding factor as well as scoring 10 points for Lincoln. This could be a crucial juncture in the ballgame for both teams. 17 for Sears. He averages nearly 19, and it's a 1-point lead for Lincoln.
Boy, Olsen is really dogging on Ferguson out front. It's good defense.
Tip it over Sears. Offensive rebound by Sexton. Goes right back up with it. And Olsen clears for Ankeny. Ulrich, offensive foul. and that will be his third foul.
Tough play. As you said, Ulrich, a very emotional kind of player. You saw him react there, mostly because he was disgusted he couldn't get around there. The Leibel had a 2-on-1 situation.
Ankeny tries to regain the lead. And Ulrich gets a hand on it.
Looks like the Rail Splitters stay man for man.
Sexton is 6'2", Hill is 6'5", it jumps very well, so it's a much shorter Ankeny team that fell out, rather Lincoln team that fell out of there as the shot put in by Marlon Haverdink.
Ulrich that time just a late recovery and getting back to his man, forced his teammate to help off, and they made the little pass and converted the bucket.
Like Sears can hit inside or outside. He's got 16, Sears has 17 in the battle of those two outstanding junior players. And with the foul, Ulrich, and now he has got 4.
He's got to keep away. Sometimes he tries to do a little bit too much, and this might be the case there. Official talking to him. He did have some words the time before, so official doing a good job trying to call him down.
Jason Luch, who played on the state championship baseball team at Ankeny, along with Sears inbounds. Now Sears open. And it is run down by
Beautiful
Luch.
pass. Oh, and a steal.
Ferguson challenged by Olsen. Nice pull-up, stop and pop by Ferguson. And the Rail Splitters lead by 3.
Well, that's almost like a 4-point play for Lincoln. It looked like with a beautiful pass from Luch, they were going to get to. He steals it, converts it on the other end.
Good feed, Sears to Luch. There was a fine pass by Don Sears, rather by Todd Sears. And it's 48-47, Lincoln by 1.
You said he thought that Luch and Sampson might have to score it a little bit, and Luch has got 2 buckets this quarter. Heads up play.
Ferguson off the knee of Olsen. 1:23 to go in the third. Lincoln leads it by 1 into the Rail Splitter lineup. Comes Eric Rathdahl for the first time. He's a 6'5" sophomore.
That steal by Ferguson was big. They've had 8 steals in the game compared to Ankeny's 1.
Ankeny also makes the change. Jared Engel comes on. Benj Sampson leaves.
Lincoln's converted that to 12 points off those 8 steals compared to Ankeny's 2 points. So that's a big difference.
Luch unable to come off with the steal.
Hey, this would be a real plus for Lincoln if they can play with Hill on the bench and stay even and keep this lead against Ankeny going into the 4th quarter.
Here's Crandall. Pivot fighting for the putback. Now Crandall again. Another offensive rebound basket for the Splitters.
And I think Lincoln out-quicking Ankeny on the boards right now. They're beating him up off the floor.
So Lincoln doing it right now with 2 starters on the bench with 4 fouls. Ulrich is out, and so is Hill. A lob for Sears. And the comeback effort by Luch, and he gets fouled. Sexton with his first foul. It'll be Lincoln's 5th foul of the second half, while Ankeny's been assessed only 1.
Sexton's been doing a nice job since he come in. He's giving good help to Lincoln in place of Andrew Hill.
Jason Luch coming off a 14.6 rebound performance in the quarterfinals against Etoka goes to the line. In this ballgame, he's got 6.
Larry, I happened to run in to Jason Luch and Andy Schurz. They were up. I was watching practice at Iowa State. They came in. We got to talking, didn't know each other. Visited with them, and 2 guys that really represent Iowa high school basketball well. It's those 2 guys. I was really impressed with them as individuals.
40 seconds to go in the 3rd period. Rail Splitters the ball and a 2-point advantage. Almost a takeaway by Engel. As Lincoln leading by 2, playing for the last shot of the quarter.
I'll tell you, Olsen is all over him. He's quick hands, real hustler.
He really is a good defensive player, and he is another underclassman. He's only a junior.
He just takes a solo. They probably look for Pivot.
Instead, Crandall fires a three. Probably not the shot that John Livonia wanted. And it's a two-point game after 3 periods. At the end of the third quarter with a score, Lincoln 50 and Ankeny 48. We'll be back after this word from your local station.
The world is changing, and so is the American Red Cross. Recent local demands have depleted the financial resources of your Siouxland Red Cross, and our reorganization designed to better serve our community has created many opportunities. March is Red Cross Month, and we invite you to be a part of our team. As a trained volunteer, you can become an Iowa Disaster Team member and help us respond to the changes in our community. From first response to administrative duties, you can help. We invite you to support the Siouxland Red Cross. Together, we're making a difference.
Look for the sign.
Professional service.
The red, blue, and white.
A friendly face.
It's a good sign.
Your Big A Pro.
Keeps your car running right.
Nice to know he uses top quality Big A parts.
Big A. The sign that keeps your car running right.
Someone to depend on when you need to depend on your car.
Everybody knows about Ryan Pippin on the court. They introduced a Brad Pippin a moment ago. How about the other member of the Pippin family, Mark?
Yeah, I think he's doing a good job tonight. It's the best he's done all year.
Been a great ball game.
Been really good. You know, both these teams really want it real bad, and it's going to come down to the wire, I think.
We'll go back upstairs to Larry and Gary.
The bad news for Rail Splitter fans, that's it, I believe. No more sons in the Pippin family, and all 3 of them have played basketball and played well for the Rail Splitters. Fourth quarter underway. And a nice ducking move by Sears. 19 for Sears.
He is really a good shooter. That battle continues to rage there. He's got 19, Pippin 16.
Sexton against Sampson. And there's a foul away from the play against Ferguson. If Ankeny can hit their free throws down the stretch, they're going to have a real big opportunity in this ballgame because the next Lincoln foul will put Ankeny on the line. That was the Rail Splitters' 6th.
And they are a 67% shooting team.
Ankeny making their 7th appearance in state. They finished second once. They have never won it.
Good ball movement.
This is for a Hawks lead. Sexton with a rebound. Sexton, Ferguson, Crandall, Rafdahl, and Pippin opening the fourth quarter for Lincoln. So the 2 players in foul difficulty, Ulrich and Hill, on the bench to begin the fourth quarter.
Let's watch Pippin. I watched him the last possession down. He kind of just stood in the corner. I wonder if he's just biding some time resting or not. We've talked several times about that mono. It really hasn't moved off of there. He was much more active in the first 2.5 quarters.
So you have to wonder if he might be wearing down. Aberdeen, first foul. Only the second called on Ankeny in the second half.
Watch, here comes Crandall, gets an edge, and Aberdeen bumps him right there. Crandall real quick, tough to defend. There's that basket, didn't count.
Crandall unknots the score, and Lincoln back in the lead at 52-50. Off Lincoln, it's Ankeny ball.
Larry, there's been some kind of game so far. The first quarter was 12-12. Half was 32-32. Then it was Lincoln 50-48 at the 3-quarter mark, and they still got a 2-point lead.
Just what you would expect to see in a 4A semifinal. Terrific ball game. West Des Moines Valley and Sioux City Heelan coming up in the next one, and that may be just as well matched.
Well, steals are the name of this game. That is 9 for Lincoln.
They have quickness, you know that, especially in Hill, a quick jumper, and Ferguson, and here's a foul against Luch. He becomes the first Hawk with more than 2 as he picks up his 3rd. Lincoln's still a long way from the bonus. That was Ankeny's 3rd. And Havernick will check out for the Hawks in favor of Andy Shures. He wears number 31. He is a 6'3" senior. We've reached the 6-minute mark in the ballgame. Lincoln by 2, foul on Olsen.
As Olsen said, he's been dogging Ferguson all the time. There he reaches across and picks up the foul. But it doesn't hurt him. That's your 14th foul.
Ferguson trying to create something. He looks for Pippett. Pippett gets inside his man to score.
Well, and that was good hands on the catch. It also looked to me like strong hands. He took that ball away.
Baseline drive results in 2 for Jason Luch. He's got 8 points, 7 of them in the second half.
Yeah, we said he thought he was going to have to pick up his offense. That was just a super baseline drive. He stepped back in and then up off the glass.
Ferguson finds Rapdahl. And the rebound taken down by Luch.
Man.
He finds him. That's Simpson. And the game is tied at 54.
Well, Luch is having some kind of a second half. He's really come to life.
Lincoln will use the timeout. The score, Ankeny 54, Lincoln 54. We'll be back at Veterans Auditorium after this word from your local station.
Rodney King back in the news again. And it all started with this explosive videotape. On the next Maury Povich Show, meet George Holliday, the man who recorded it all and still lives with its haunting memory.
I believe that I need to do something to make up what I've caused.
And Tim Goldman, who captured on tape the vicious attack of Reginald Denny.
I tried to put it behind me.
On the next Maury Povich Show, Monday at 4 on KCAU TV.
The forecast calls for a red-hot spring with red-hot deals on red-hot new Hondas, along with no money down financing, free service inspections and appraisals, free Honda hats, lots of free demo rides, and plenty more. Come see the hot new Hondas, but hurry, Honda's red-hot deal days end April 30th. After that, you'll be left out in the cold.
See Bach Honda in Sioux City, Cherokee Honda in Cherokee, Esterville Honda in Esterville, Storm Lake Honda in Storm Lake, and Midwest Motorsports in Yankton.
6 ties in the second half, 9 ties in the ballgame. Let's take a look at some Norwest key stats after this replay.
And Luch just made a baseline drive for 2. Now he rebounds. Sampson cheats out early, gets down ahead of the defense, and lays it up on a nice pass from Luch.
Now the key stats, both teams continue to shoot very well and rebound evenly.
The difference is, it's been in the steal part, and that's where Lincoln is kept in the ball game right now. They have 9, I think, to 2 in the steal department advantage.
At the timeout, Jason Ulrich comes back in, as does Andrew Hill. Both of the 4 fouls. Ulrich drives to the hole. Offensive foul, and he is out. Just that quickly, John LeBoy made the gamble, and just that quickly, he comes up empty. Does not pay off for him.
Well, Ulrich commits early. He just says, I'm going to take it to the hole, and doesn't use judgment there to be able at the last step to look what the defense doing. Where we could have had a chance to maybe jump to the side and avoid that foul. He just took it straight on. Good healthy defense by Ankeny.
Sexton comes back in to replace him. Ankeny looks to the lead. And Pippett rebounds on this by Shures.
Lincoln has played, they played about 6 minutes without Hill in the lineup. And Ulrich maybe about 5 minutes.
Both teams have showed terrific poise in this game. There's Hill. And he drops underneath. Sampson and scores.
Hill makes his presence felt in a hurry.
His first points of the second half. He now has 12 in the ballgame, foul on Ferguson. And that'll be the 7th on Lincoln. So the Hawks will shoot free throws, final 4:06 of the game. And Ankeny is not a bad free throw shooting team at 67%.
Sampson to the wing on the pass to Olsen, and Quentin Ferguson right there gets a hand mixed up, sends Olsen to the line. Ankeny a pretty good free throw shooting team.
There are three guys you definitely don't want to foul. Olsen is one of 74% for Ankeny. Sampson 76%. Sears 78%. Olsen averages 8, he has 10.
I was just going to say, now double figures.
And his free throws have tied this one up for the 10th time. Marlon Havertich, a starter back into the lineup for Ankeny. Ferguson against Olsen. Ran out of time. He was concerned about a 5-second call. He had to use a timeout.
Think back to those kind of plays. That was a defensive play there. Olsen might be late in the game when Lincoln was listening to an extra timeout. So you got to credit that to Olsen with defense.
So first of all, Olsen hits a couple of free throws to tie the score. Then right back to the other end, he makes a big play. John Paul, the architect of the defense for Lincoln, announcement from Larry Ireland. For the fourth consecutive year, Northwest Bank of Iowa will be awarding a $1,000 scholarship in each division to the boys basketball tournament to those schools exhibiting the highest level of good sportsmanship throughout the tournament. A total of 4 $1,000 scholarships are awarded, one in each class. The sportsmanship award is determined by sports broadcasters and sports writers covering the tournament.
You heard John Carl say, don't rush it. And that's the basis of any game. Don't force things. Have patience. Let it come to you. He said, wait till the guy gets down there before you set your pick.
Scramble to the baseline. Hill on offensive rebound, and Sexton runs it down.
And they isolate on this side. Look at the clear side. Now they roll Pippett down inside.
And the foul against Sears, and that will be Todd Sears' third foul. Still only the fifth against the Hawks. Lincoln looking up at that scoreboard thinking, shouldn't we be shooting free throws? They're still not there.
And it was Hill on the inside that kept the ball alive again. Looked like might be able to put it back, got it blocked away, but they retained possession. Ferguson trying to shake Olsen right there.
Easier said than done. Olsen played a whale of a defensive game against Ferguson. Again, don't rush it was the theme of the timeout for Lincoln, and they are taking their time. Crandall trying to make something happen, and he is fouled. Olsen with a blocking foul. For Steve Olsen, his second foul. And with 3 minutes and 9 seconds left in the game that is tied at 56, Josh Crandall, a 70% free throw shooter, will go to the line. He's been there before during the season. He attempted 118. Top with a roll footer.
And they're taking advantage of his quickness and speed right now. They're seeing the ball ends in his hands, but they can't get Pippett rolling down from that weak side to strong side as they clear a side and roll those people off. Trying to get the cutters open.
Averaging out. 16 for Crandall as he calmly sinks a pair of free throws to give the Rail Splitters a 2-2 lead. 3 points, the biggest lead for either team in this game. Sears, what a feed by Luch.
Boy, great recognition there. He gets it in the lane, he's tough there, they double up on him. Instead of forcing something, he gives it off, gets it wide open too. Good heads-up play.
We're tied up for the 11th time. Foul against Luch, it's his fourth.
Watch here. gets him beat, turns to run, tries to catch up, but gets the body on it right there. It's tough in that particular play, the way they clear the side. If you're pressuring up on the ball side, if they get it, they got an advantage on you, and boom, it's open.
And that is the seventh foul against Ankeny. So John Lanier watches his sophomore and he'll go to the line. Hill's got 13. Lincoln's got a one lead. Larry Ireland wants a timeout to talk to his Ankeny Hawks. 2 minutes, 39 seconds to play. A terrific ball game. This first 4A semifinal. Lincoln and Ankeny battling all the way. The game's been tied 11 times. No team has had more than a 3-point lead in this game. And that's the way it has gone. Gary, we're going to keep it right here. We go down the stretch. And again, you think about fouls, how much of a factor might that be? Let's correct that. Lincoln did have a 4-point lead in 50-50. That's the biggest lead. Judge John Carl on the rails.
Picked up, caught the tail end, go down, sound like they're going to zone one time, come back in the man-for-man, just change it up for one time coming out here. Let's see what happens.
John Carl basically runs the offense, John LeBogne the defense. Again, two Hall of Famers on the rail bench. Larry Ireland, who's won only 418 games in his career, is going to join those most likely very soon. Hill's second free throw goes in play. So now we're down to 2:35. We're on an odd, even situation for the first time in a while.
This is what he was telling. Now we'll see if they fall off. They said go to zone one time, the next time come back man for man. Oh, she strong arms it in.
Luce with some great strength scores a big bucket, has a chance at a three-point play. The foul against Sexton.
You look at working that baseline zone. Pippin can't get there. Fast enough, Luke takes it in, gets hit there. Good step back into the court to free himself up so he can get a piece of that glass.
Leaves it short, gets the rebound, goes right back up with it. And Ryan Pippin, whose defense may have forced Luce to miss that one, comes up with a big rebound. By Luce, he's really been effective the last couple of minutes.
He's been the story in the second half. Made a lot of great plays.
He had all of his 10 points in this half. Sears. 23 for Todd Sears. Ankeny was their biggest lead at 16-59. The clear out for Crandall.
Good play. He said that using Crandall's speed there, one-on-one situation, he's going to be tough to stop. He's either going to get a shot or he's going to get a foul on a good drive.
Sears. And the rebound underneath is by Luce again.
He's playing like a guy possessed right now.
You talk about a guy who wants it. It's a cliche, but right now Luce personifies it.
Can't force it if you're Lincoln. Take your time. You've got a lot of time to play. You've got to make sure that you get a good shot.
Only 1 3-point win ball game. It's not really a major part of the arsenal for either team.
No, they do not need it right now either. They got plenty of time to get to two.
But they'll take it anyway. Sears rebounds from Ferguson and miss. Ankeny, a 3-point lead, 35 seconds left, and a foul called on Ferguson to his fourth. The story down the stretch. We're looking at Ireland. Has been the play of senior forward Jason Luce.
You expect that Sears to step up, but he has really stepped up.
We have a timeout. We're going to keep it right here. We're down to 36 seconds. Ankeny will be on the line. It's a 3-point lead for the Hawks. for Ankeny, their seventh state tournament appearance. In 1950, they finished second. They were third in 79, fourth in 48 and 90. Larry Ireland trying to take his team to the championship game for the first time since 1950.
Couple 2 points there. Remind you, got two timeouts left. The other thing, you know you're going to get pressure. Come to meet the ball. If you're saying about you get pressure, keep the stand, you allow for people to get in the lanes and make the interception steal. So two key points made right there. Use the timeout to save possession, save a 5-second call, meet the basketball on the pressure defense.
Luce, 66% free throw shooter. 2 of 5 in this game, a total of 12 points. And he has been the man down the stretch that's given Ankeny the lead. Luce, Olsen, Sears, Shures, and Sampson in the lineup now for Ankeny. Ferguson, Sexton, Hill, Pickett, and Crandall there for Lincoln. It's a 4-point game. Ferguson misfiring as Sears got a piece of it, and then a foul is called against Andy Shures. 29 seconds to go. Lincoln's on the line, trailing Ankeny 65-61. Andrew Hill is only a 46% free throw shooter. Haverdick replaces Shures for the Hawks of Ankeny.
Knowing that you got to really be thinking about check off. No one to relax.
So the best Andrew Hill can do is bring his club to 3.
For them, it'd be nice if he makes it because they got a chance to set their pressure defense.
65-62, Ankeny, 29 seconds to go. Olsen loses against pressure. The Hawks have got to hurry. But alone underneath was Haverdick.
Olsen made a heck of a play right there. Just nudged the ball to his teammate, save possession.
Sampson is fouled. He's a 76% free throw shooter. 15 seconds to play. The Rails didn't have a lot of choice on who to foul. Crandall with his fourth for Lincoln. So Ben Sampson, who played so well in the quarterfinals against Tacoma, he was 10 of 13 to 24 points, will go to the line.
He's been content here. They've able to get the inside game going, so he's content to handle the ball, get the ball inside, and the other people do the scoring.
Big free throw now because the Rail Splitters cannot tie it with a single basket. And Ankeny will take a timeout before Ben Sampson shoots his next free throw. 15 seconds left in this upper bracket for a semifinal. Ankeny 66, Lincoln 62. His 27th year head coach at Ankeny. He's been there since 1966. This is terrific record. 418 wins, 134 losses. And 15 seconds away from taking his Hawks to the state tournament finals for only the second time in school history.
That's something everybody strives for, is that big win with state championship. There's nothing like it. Both these clubs are playing lights out against each other, trying to get that opportunity.
One more free throw for Ankeny's Ben Sampson. This will be in play with 15 seconds to go.
Lincoln has to be thinking check off too. This is a chance to get the rebound.
Lincoln now down by 5. Biggest deficit they face in the game.
Who else could come up with the ball but Luke?
Who else indeed? He has been the story, the final performance of the ball game. And if you look to one player that won it for the Hawks, you'd have to look at number 33. Anthony's on to the championship game. That's the end of the game with the score. Ankeny 67, Lincoln 62. We'll be back at Uplands Auditorium in just a moment.
Ever since we sprayed the corn with Buckville herbicide this afternoon, old Buck's been pretty excited. That's because Buckville gives us fast knockdown of velvet leaf, cucumber, and other broadleaves. In fact, the minute Buckville hits a weed, the show's over.
When it comes to controlling broadleaf weeds in corn, nothing measures up to Buckville.
Buck swears it works so fast he can hear your weeds drop.
What makes you an individual is more than just what you do and how you do it. It's where you've been, where you want to go. It's your beliefs, fears, and needs. Which is why your Farm Bureau agent cares enough to get to know you. So your insurance and financial plans meet your needs today and change with you to meet them tomorrow. The Farm Bureau family. Our most important policy is caring.
Ankeny has secured a berth in the 4A finals with a 67-62 victory over Lincoln. Gary Thompson, there are really a couple of players you have to point to for Ankeny. Todd Sears with 23, and then the play in the second half of the senior forward, Jason Luch.
Boy, Luch was just unbelievable in that second half. He had 12 points in the second half. He came up with rebounds, made a couple of nice assists, a big steal when it was crunch time, and just had a terrific ball game.
Also for Ankeny, Steve Olson with 11, Ben Sampson with 8, and Marlon Haverdink with 9, as Larry Ireland and his Ankeny bench explode as the Hawks move on into the championship. Let's get a look at the veteran coach of the Hawks as the game winds down. A guy who never shows a lot of emotion, but I know he felt a lot more than he indicated right there. John Carl, the Lincoln assistant, congratulating him. They've certainly been at this before. Well, Ireland may not have shown his excitement, but his team did. For the Lincoln Rail Splitters, Josh Crandall with 18 and Ryan Pippett with 18. The two have done it all year, lead the way. And certainly Lincoln fans disappointed by the outcome, but you look at their roster, you realize Quentin Ferguson returns next year, as does Andrew Hill, as does Ryan Pippett. They have a nice nucleus for next season.
Well, they certainly do. And going back to that ball game, you'll never know. We mentioned about Pippett kind of standing over on the sideline a couple times, staying out of the offense. He only had 2 points the fourth quarter. Ankeny did a good job on him, and how much you know of the energy that Pippett lost because of that mononucleosis, but he was not as involved in that game the last quarter as he had been for one reason or another.
And of course, another factor in this ball game was Lincoln got themselves in foul difficulty. Aldrich fouled out a starter with 4:54 to play, and they didn't have him for virtually the entire second half. He was in foul trouble, picked up his fourth pretty early. Then another factor, Ankeny takes advantage of that. And you know, I will go back to Ankeny for a second. You talk about Sears and you talk about Luch. How about the defensive job done by Olson and Sampson?
Yes, they were always harassing out there. And going back to that rail splitter situation, it was the reserves that came in for Hill and Aldrich when they were sitting out did a good job. But the thing that they lacked was there wasn't the offense there out of those players. And that's where Lincoln got hurt with Hill and Aldrich sitting down, was they lost that offensive punch.
So Ankeny outscores Lincoln 19-12 in the fourth quarter to take the ball game. The Hawks now 21-2, headed for the state championship game against the winner of the game coming up between Sioux City, Ewan, and Valley. And we'll be back at Veterans Auditorium in just a moment.
But you know what, you and your sister, you guys help me with that all the time. All the times we're together now that I'm home. And when we play, or when I tuck you in at night, it just means you too. That helps me so much. Because I love you too more than anything in this world. And I would have done anything to get back to you. So let's say you think maybe you have your way out. Come here. Look,